Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast for a brand new episode this week. We'll be chatting about, again, another big Euro victory. Not on the night, but obviously through to the next round against Red Star Belgrade, which seen us drew against Braga. So we'll give our thoughts on the game and then the draw. We'll talk about Dundee away. It seemed to have been such a straightforward fixture, but we made it hard for ourselves. A lot to talk about there, protests and you name it, so we'll get into that as well. And then obviously international break now, no game to look forward to for a couple of weeks. It was essential to get the 3 points yesterday, and then we can move on to the international break and not have to have the added pressure going into an Old Firm game even further behind than we already are. So we'll talk about the players that will be going away in international break as well. But if you do enjoy it, as always, if you'd like, subscribe and share about, very much appreciated. So on to the Red Star game then. Red Star, they think they made one or two changes to the team that they played at Ibrox. They were obviously playing on Monday, so it gave them a chance to rest a few players for that one, get their big players like Katai back in for Thursday. And just the whole sort of day was nerve-wracking, waiting until that time during the day, and the team comes out, same team, you have to keep it tight. It feels like it would have been better with a 3-0 deficit going with 3-0, but it's just even more nerve-wracking because of the hostile venue. I mean, the walk up to the tunnel, the atmosphere I thought was fantastic for their home support, a really good venue to play in. And it was definitely hard work on the night because they came right at us as we expected. I don't feel like they had loads of chances within before they scored, but they were definitely coming after us. They get the goal, which is sloppy, as we go out for a corner and Morelos just totally miscues the header and they go 1-0 up. At that point, I mean, the sweat starts running down your face.
It does, mate, but I tell you what was more annoying, I was a bit upset with Rangers, is why was I not showing Connor Goldson celebrating in front of their fans? That's what was going to make the night for me. I'm sorry. No, listen, I don't really blame Morelos for a goal, to be honest with you. I just think all round it was the defence sort of went to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Just a lacking concentration. But as I said, Jack, doesn't matter. Ryan Kent slides it through, puts it in the net, and all the way to the final, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
No, I hope so. I hope this run doesn't just stop now and we actually go for it. We're in a good position to go through again, obviously, but there was signs against obviously Red Star that we need to improve defensively with the ball as well. In an environment like that, I just felt that keeping the ball was an issue in the middle of the park. Ryan Jack, Kamara, Lundstrom, none of them were really passing it on and making it. Morelos had the chance obviously when it went by the post, but apart from that, the first half was sort of non-existent for us going forward. They had a good few chances. Al McGregor digging us out a lot of times in that first half. They had the one for Ivanic, just straight after the goal, like they literally get the ball back and went straight up. Great save around the post. Piccini, just towards the end of the first half, Pavkov and all was through 1-on-1 and somehow put it by the post. Like there was plenty of opportunities for them to go and score, but we got lucky in a lot of times during this two legs. Like, very, very lucky. Came out in the second half. Me and you were speaking. We thought maybe it's time for a Ramsey to come on, maybe even a Scott Arfield at the time, just to maybe keep it tight in the middle of the park and get a bit of possession and actually hold the ball and move on. But again, they came for us again. They had that one at the corner. McGregor tips away. They had Omar Wanfo, he was literally through. Calvin Bassey was the wrong side, and I'm like, no, what are you doing, man? And then he slides it through, and the guy doesn't get it. It's all about luck, to be honest. In these two ties, I mean, they could have scored about 10 goals against us, like easily, and we got away with it a lot of times. And then all it took was just one break up. Ryan Kent does what he does, breaks up the park. The guy pulls his hamstring, and he's hobbling back. Can he catch him? Kent gets the all important goal that sends us through.
Sends us through, mate. And I honestly, watching the game, as you say, could have scored 10 as it could have ended up like the game last season in Belgium. Thank God it didn't. But no, credit to Al McGregor, as I say, fantastic game for McGregor all round. Saved us countless times, not only in that game, but throughout many seasons, as we've said. Connor Goldson, I thought, was all right as well. Off the top of my head, if I can remember. Just disappointed we never got to see the celebrations of him in front of their fans, because it's quality banter. But nah, I'm buzzing, mate, that we're through. We've got a real chance now. The team we've played before. I know everyone's sharing the Kevin Nash, pretending to be injured, Giannis Hadji. So, I mean, I know Giannis has liked it as well. So, no, it'd be nice to obviously see Giannis play, but obviously we can't. So, no, I'm looking forward to this fixture. And then for all counts, it seems like Braga are even more a dangerous outside than what we played them the last time. So, it should be a good tie. Hopefully, with the Rangers going through.
It's definitely going to be an interesting one. Braga, although they did finish second in Red Star Belgrade's group, so you could say, well, obviously we'll beat the group winners there. Like, surely we should be beating second in the group, but I feel they've improved since we last played them. Lost a few players though. Obviously, Luis Diaz went to Liverpool, and then that meant Porto had to sign a winger. They signed Galeno for Braga. He played us the last time. Palhinha as well. He's went to Sporting Lisbon over the past year. He's also constantly in the Portuguese squad. So they've sort of brung through more youth. Of Trincao is at Wolves now. Had the season at Barcelona. So although they've lost a few big players, I think they've still got that youth coming through that they're definitely going to be dangerous.
Definitely going to be a dangerous team, mate. But overall, just excited, looking forward to the tie. I think as any Rangers fan right now, we just say yourselves, why not? Let's go for it. What have we got to lose? Absolutely nothing. I was honestly, as I say, I was just wanting Barca more than anything, and I wanted to avoid Leipzig at all cost. But hopefully, Atlanta can do the business and pop them out, and we get a good game against a really good Italian side. So I'm hoping we can do the business, and hope West Ham. I do hope West Ham go out, mate. I'm not going to lie. I do hope West Ham go out because I don't really want an old British fixture. You know what I mean? I want to play one of the bigger ones, Man United, Liverpool, something like that. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully next season.
Honestly, I'll take anybody. I think this is the best draw we could have got.
Well, listen, I don't support a team that supports a player that kicks animals about, all right? No having that at all, all right? But anyway, Barcelona, that's who I want.
Oh, I don't think I'd want Barcelona after watching them last night, to be honest with
you. One game. I've not seen anything for them. One game.
It's all came together in that one game for the future now.
Aye, one game, right? You say hanging with Barca. I'm telling you right now, we beat Borussia Dortmund, much better team, get the best foot forward in the world.
I bet he didn't play.
Well, I know he didn't play, but you know what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter.
I'd like to play Barcelona, obviously, but I'd like to avoid them for as long as possible. Obviously, going into that draw, you want to still get through. I mean, look at all the teams. Braga's the best one we got.
We're still going to get through. If we get through, we're getting Atlanta or Leipzig. We're going to get Barca in the final. If we get Barcelona in the final, what Giovanni Van Bronckhorst needs to do is pick up the phone, talk to some of his pals that he knows at Barcelona, and just tell them, listen, you prepared? Because the smackdown's getting laid on you, all right? We're signing Greggy Stewart again. Going to come in and score a hat-trick for us in the final. Telling you.
No, I think the perfect time to play Barcelona would be the final, to be honest with you. I wouldn't like to drew them right now. I would like to Braga, perfect draw, two evenly matched sides again, similar to the Red Star game. Gives us a great opportunity going through. Leipzig, Atlanta, that's a step up. And then the final, if you get there, is obviously going to be the highest challenge you'll face in the tournament. So it's worked out quite well for us, to be honest, in the European draws this season. I think nobody expected us to get by Dortmund, which was a big ask, and then getting by Red Star again. Everybody's in it to win it now. Obviously, Leipzig get a bye. Atalanta beaten by Leverkusen, who are a very strong team as well. Barcelona struggling against Galatasaray. There's West Ham beating Sevilla. It's unpredictable, this tournament this season. I feel it's been better in the Champions League, not just because Rangers are in it. Like, some of the results in it have been good. I feel Champions League football at times it's just not as interesting.
Well, no, I can understand why. I mean, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. Sometimes Europa League can be a lot more exciting, a lot more upsets in the Europa League than the Champions League. It feels like a lot of backhanders for the big clubs to go through sometimes. But no, I can agree with you. But come on, there's some big ties in the Champions League, but there's none bigger than Barcelona and Rangers. Europa League final, Greggy Stewart getting a hat trick. I'm telling you, can just see it right now. See it right now.
We can definitely dream. It's going to be a couple of weeks anyway till that Braga game, so in a couple of weeks also we'll take a closer look at them, but I'm looking forward to it.
just the first thing that came to my mind when obviously we get through was how did we go through for the group stage? Like, it looked like we were out at the group stage. To get to where we are now, I think it's just fantastic. And I rate, as I say to you all the time, mate, I rate Gio in Europe a hell of a lot more than Gerrard. I know we get some great results and what have you. Just seems like Gio just understands how to play better in Europe for me, man. As I say, with the Dortmund games, tells you everything you need to know. So, Greg is straight for a hat-trick in the final.
No, I think I agree with you. Again, like, adapting in Europe is something he's not afraid to do, and I just don't feel Gerrard was ever really that way. He's just too stubborn and he's too believing in his own way to change it up, which I didn't really like at all. Actually, there was times where subs needed to be made and times where system needed to be changed, and he never really done it, to be honest. So I'm liking Gio's taking risks, and even at Dundee, chucking Connor Goldson up front and putting Glenn Kamara at centre half. What's that all about? Like, these sort of changes are winning us games all the time. I'll take it all day long because it shows the manager and the touchline actually has an idea of what the game is, the flow and what it needs at the time. So in Europe especially, I just thought we took the sting out of the game completely after we scored. Bringing on Sands and taking Lundstrom off, Balogun. He started the game, didn't he? Who came on actually?
What, in the Dundee game?
No, in the European game. Roof came on. Roof was unlucky actually not to score. But we sort of made the substitutions. Barisic came on. That was who I'm thinking he came on, and took the sting out of the game. Obviously, we end up losing the game on the night, which is a bit annoying. Scott Wright, that's when he came on, and we lose the game. So Scott Wright's fault.
Exactly. That was the first thing I said. I thought to myself, what is he doing? He's got a young, exciting, talented young man who scored in the Old Firm, sitting on that bench, and he decides to throw that on that will hopefully want to be there at the club in the summer. He'll be going, pack his bags, Livingston. I think you've got a wee decent player there for you can do the business. I'm just being realistic, but honestly, being serious about the tournament, it is great to see some West Ham put a team like Sevilla, obviously hands down the favourites if they're in the last sort of four. You just get a feeling they'll end up winning it. So it's a massive result, as I said, for a team like West Ham, and they've got a difficult draw. We've got a difficult draw, mate, as you say, but it's a very competitive competition, Europa League. Just don't want to crap on West Ham fully. They have got an excited team, and Davy Moyes doing the business. I'm telling you, Saki, Stevie Clarkey, Davy Moyes has got the job.
Moyes has changed his career there at West Ham, because how many jobs did he take where it just never worked out? And I mean, he's took West Ham and he's got them back into European competition, and not only just into the Europe, just like he's taking them into the quarterfinals, which I didn't really understand. Like English media and everybody like on Twitter, news pages and that were bigging up West Ham getting there, which is obviously a big achievement for them if they've not been there in a while. But Rangers getting there is much more an achievement than West Ham getting there. I mean, look at the budget they're on, look at the league they're in, look at the players they've got in their team. Like, if they're in that tournament, they should be getting to that round all the time. Whereas us, like we're never supposed to make it here. So I didn't really feel like, obviously the Scottish media they don't really like giving Rangers any credit. I seen somebody put up a tweet and it was all about the Sydney Cup friendly and all that on the front page, and about Aberdeen sale or whatever, and then you had to go halfway down the actual news page to actually find anything about us going through, which again, it's such a big achievement. Like, nobody's going to take it away from us. Even if we stumble here, nobody's going to take it away from us. Like, that's a big achievement for any Scottish team to get here in Europe.
No, it's a massive achievement. As you say, mate, it's difference, and obviously the money West Ham have, but still a fantastic achievement for them. Like, I think when they've been in Europe beforehand, they've really struggled, obviously at the knockout stages and what have you. But no, credit to David Moyes and his side, because they're a fantastic team. But we're a better team, and we're going to win the competition. Back to that.
I hope we show we are.
West Ham, and I just thought, I don't know why I slag West Ham. I know what their fans are like, so I'm no slagging the West Ham, no slagging them. Just don't like Kurt Zouma. That's all. Maybe that Czech Republic boy they've got an all in the middle of the park, scored the goal. No keen on him and all as a person, but everybody else, they seem like decent players. But back to the Rangers.
Well, moving on then, and we'll park up Europe. Dundee was the main thing on everybody's mind yesterday. Team lineup came out. I think a lot of people expected the way it went. Like, Helander came back in. Sands started. Who else started the game actually?
Your favourite Arfield?
Scott Arfield came back in. Ramsey obviously comes back in as well. So definitely, you notice the rotation would happen, but then it's easy to blame the rotation when the first half doesn't go the way you want it to. And it was poor on the pitch in terms of what we served up in the first half. But before you even get to that, the protests that took place. Celtic obviously protested earlier on in the season at Dundee as well. So Dundee have just been the team that have got the tennis balls thrown at the pitch this season. But we voiced our concerns. The fans voiced the concerns, which is good of them. Good banner held up. Seen Stuart Robertson on the telly as well. He was in attendance. So hopefully he did listen to the protests. And I thought at the time, let's get our voice heard and all that. But then when you go 1-0 down, and the game keeps getting stopped by all this protest. And I get you're trying to spread a message and all that, but it's not going to be beneficial for the team on the pitch, especially when it's a must-win game at that point. Like, we're coming back for a 1-0 deficit. Like, I just don't feel it helped as the game went on. Obviously, at the start of the game, but
no, it didn't help at all, mate. I'm not really caring, as I said to you. Everyone is against this. It's not what we want, and I'm all for protesting it and letting the board hear our voice, and reminding them who is actually in charge of the club here. You know what I mean? It's us, man. I'm not having these people tell us, "Oh, hereby we're going to play in Australia." Doesn't matter. Anyway, it did affect, for me, it clearly affected the players straight off the bat. I don't think the players were really expecting that. Clearly, they've come out with a game plan, and then you've got that kind of happening. It throws you off. So you could see it definitely in the first half it affected them. Second half, guns blazing, two guns, Denzel Washington, Mark Wahlberg, here we come. We went for it. But first half you could tell it was affecting, and obviously the tennis balls. I mean, we've got places in Scotland here, nowhere like this. Obviously I know in Argentina they're throwing grenades on the park, but over here we like to be a bit more civil with tennis balls and snowballs. No grenades, we don't do that over here.
No, totally get what you're saying. Like, there's obviously a time and a place for these protests. They're going to keep happening. Is the thing. Like, if the board don't get the finger out and just cancel it and just get rid of it,
hold the banners up. Let them hang me with the banners. And obviously, throwing stuff onto the park, whatever. If you think that's the way that's going to really affect it, to me, it's not going to change anything by doing that kind of stuff, man. That's just going to disturb the team. As I say, that's what I feel happened in the first half. The team are a bit bamboozled about what's happening here. Do you know what I mean? Because these players are coming out with a mindset, right, cool, 3 points must. Every game's a cup final till the last day of the season. And that happens, that takes you off your game plan straight away. Your mind switches. But I'm not, as I say, mate, support the protests 100%, but I just think there's a different way we can do it than that. But I hope he's heard that scumbag sitting up on top of there, because it's, for me, as I say, mate, what are you thinking about signing and agreeing we're going to play that game? Because I say, once it happens in Australia, soon it's going to happen in America. Let's go to Barbados with it. You know what I mean? Let's go all over the world with it. That's what happens with these kind of games. You know what I mean? It happens with the Spanish Cup getting played in Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? It's the Spanish Cup. Why is it called the Spanish Cup if it's in Saudi Arabia? It makes no sense. That's why it is what it is, as we say, mate. But hopefully it doesn't go ahead, and hopefully this famous tie stays in Glasgow, where it's born and bred, mate.
Aye, definitely. Like, we've made our voice heard. The fans at the game, like, although I didn't agree with like the protests keep happening and all that, like, surely that's got through to the board in some way, which is what you want, I guess. But aye, this friendly can't go ahead. Like, you've seen how much it's disturbed everything. So they're going to know.
I must have turned around, because I know he was sitting in front of you. Must have turned around, looked at him, and went like, "You better cancel that, pal." It's only going to keep going, and it needs to be cancelled. But one of the more important things, Jack, I feel like we need to talk about, which is the actual game itself, mate. Because as we're talking about, I'm going to say it. I know he's a fan favourite for some people, and they want to target the boy that I seem to like, and I've took a liking to, Sands. Don't think he did anything wrong, part of it, when we went on the attack, and Arfield went to give him the ball, and the ball just fumbled for his feet. Arfield, what does he do? He was just running about for that first half. He literally was running about like a headless chicken. And I honestly felt in that first half, obviously it was going side to side. But see if there was somebody there in the middle. I mean, Ramsey was having to come into our half to receive the ball and go out wide to get the ball. And then when he got the ball, there was nothing for him option-wise up front. For me, if we had somebody in the middle proper, we could have worked that in the middle and constantly going at them like we did second half that led to the goals. Just as I say, mate, I don't feel like Arfield offers anything in that game. I think he's good for an Old Firm and maybe an odd occasion in Europe, but no in the kind of games, mate. He's just run a bit like a headless chicken.
It's just, honestly, like, I've said it for a few weeks now. Like, I don't hate Scott Arfield or anything. I just want to see the best possible team go out and get the job done and play well. I just don't feel that we really ever play well when he's there on the pitch. Like, he's like a man down when he's in that attacking role anyway. Like, he just doesn't offer you any pace. Like yesterday, every time he received the ball, he was getting the ball away. He was anonymous for a large part of the game, and I just don't feel that he should be going forward being a starter. Like Aaron Ramsey for me, that's his kind of position. What it should be anyway, and moving Aribo maybe out wide when he obviously didn't play yesterday, but
that could maybe be decent for in there as well is because he's clearly not a winger as you said, mate. If we're going to give Scott Wright some stick, I think Fashion Sakala deserves some stick and all. We can't even beat a man, I'm sorry. So he needs to be maybe popped into that position there, just in front. I think he would be perfect in there with the pace and what have you. But if we're going to give Scott Wright some criticism, I definitely think Fashion deserves it and all. He's struggling to beat a man. I'm thinking to myself, come on.
What I'm even thinking as well, if you're going to sort of play with that just behind the striker, like so the team lines up with the 4 at the back, obviously 2 sitting. You've got the 3 going forward, and that'll be Kent. Ramsey was out in the right, and you've got that guy in the middle. That guy in the middle could even be Kemar Roof, just played a wee bit forward, and then the wingers could maybe go in a wee bit. You've got the 2 up front, you need it. Just feel that could also be an option. Sakala, for me, as you say, we thought he was a winger at the start of the season. It's more evident to me he's going to be a striker. Like, he's just not get the end ball. Although he provides a lot of width and threat going forward, he struggles to beat a man and get the ball into the box. You've seen what happens when he's central. He ends up scoring all the time. So I think best position for him is going to be central. But I'm not an Arfield fan, to be honest with you. I just don't feel that he deserves the next year contract. We all thought with Gio coming in and he's been revitalised, Scott Arfield, he didn't really feature, to be honest, the full season. And Gio comes in, starts playing him. He has had good performances, good games, don't get me wrong, but largely I've just not been impressed with him. Gio's sort of philosophy at the start, his tenure at Ibrox was sort of like the midfield runners going beyond the striker, and he found a lot of joy with Aribo and Arfield playing in that position. But now the formation's completely shifted. I just don't feel there's a place for Arfield. And then just off the back of a couple of performances, I just don't feel that he warrants another gear. We should be looking at getting better players in because it's going to be more competitive next year. Like Celtic, Hearts constantly improving. Hearts are going to be getting European football now. They're going to get more money. They're going to become more of a challenge. So I just don't feel like a guy like Arfield's going to help us a lot next season.
No, listen, I agree with you. You know what I mean? As I say on the podcast all the time, we give players criticism when they haven't played well, and we back them when they have played well. That's what it's all about, being a fan. I'm the same as you. It's the same with McGregor. Everyone going on about, I'm not told my back. Like, I know they're fan favourites, but come on, you've got to hold them accountable when they have a bad game. As I say, McGregor's been performing fantastically well over the last couple of games. Kept us in, as we said, on the Thursday night. But he's the same for me. I wouldn't give him another renewal. I would say that's it for him at the end of the ring. And I would agree with Arfield. I do think maybe Arfield's time at the club is probably up after the end of the season, because as you said, it's going to only Champions League football coming in. You want to improve the players. I would actually prefer it, as I said, if the club actually spent money this summer. I'm all right with a free transfer if it works, like Lundstrom and Sakala. Fantastic. Even my boy Calvin Bassey, was he a free? No?
Yeah, he was, aye.
So there you go. I mean, it's fantastic business in terms of free signings. But I would like to see the player, the club, make a statement and sign a player for a good bit of money, especially if we're hoping for Champions League football next season. So, I definitely agree with that, mate. I mean, Scott Arfield, I was going to come on make a wee hang up. He'll be playing Dundee next season, but we all know it's Falkirk for Scotty, all right? No, he's been fantastic at the club overall at East Anglia, but it's just as you say, mate, it's tight. It's one of them where the time is probably up. I won't be shocked if he gets another year, by the way. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets another year. I
just feel like we need to move past that. They kind of players, obviously, were good for the time when they were here, and they have been good servants for the club. It's nothing against the player, the guy, whatever. Like, I've respected what he's done for the club. I just feel like we need to be looking in a different direction now to actually progress the team. and move forward. But Arfield obviously wasn't great. Kent, Morelos, Ramsey, they weren't great either. The full team wasn't great. I respect James Tavernier all the time for constantly asking for a ball and constantly trying to ask questions when we're playing poor. Like, he always tries to go forward, and same with Connor Goldson as well. He's always trying to look forward. For Calvin Bassey, for me yesterday was really, really poor in terms of possession with football. It just looked like he never knew how to pass a ball before. I don't know if that was the surface or not, but going forward in the second half he was better, but just passing the ball, I was like,
I was shocked for the goal and all. As a bit, I thought, I mean, Kent singed with him, man. I thought, come on, where's Bassey there? No, I thought Bassey was woeful, and I'm one of Bassey's biggest supporters. I just didn't think he had a great game yesterday. And I agree with you. See with Tav, I'm going to say it, I'm sorry. Can we have somebody else hit the corners? And maybe give somebody else a chance with the pens. I know if my boy Kemaru's playing, he'd take the penalties. I mean, I know what he tried to do. He's done it, bro. Just down the middle or at the bottom of the corners, please. Usual. Don't try and bury it top bin.
But especially at that point of the game where you've not and you've played so poor, you get the gift of the penalty. You're like, right, finally we can regroup. Maybe just like you see with the goalkeeper moves, just pass it into the goal. Just score the goal. Like, just don't go for the pure sensational top corner. It's worked the past 2 times you've hit the penalty. Nearly missed the one against Red Star and all, by the way, with doing that. But you shouldn't be going for the fucking fancy penalty. Just get the ball in the net and fucking just get the goal scored.
No, that's where I'm on, especially at Dundee. Come on, down the middle, do the business. But as I say, mate, I can respect it. I thought Ramsey's movements. Just watching the game, I thought his movement was fantastic, and I'm obviously delighted to get the goal. But my boy Sands, as you said, I've seen people just.
It's just people are looking for a scapegoat all the time. Like, they'll automatically pick on the new guy. Like,
that's what I'm on about. How do these people get given a chance at the club? Some people don't want to criticise their favourites. Do you know what I mean? I'll criticise Morelos when he's had a bad game, no problem. I adore the guy, but I'll still criticise him when he's had a bad game. For me, Sands did nothing wrong in that game. Partly when obviously we're looking to go in the attack the first half, Ramsey gives him the ball and it fumbles at his feet.
The thing with Sands is, like, I just wouldn't play him with Lundstrom. Like, him and Lundstrom are so similar. Like, they're basically the same player. I wouldn't have the 2 of them on at the same time. And then Arfield, it didn't really work out for any 3 of the midfielders, to be honest with you. Sands worked really well with Ryan Jack and Kamara last week. Done really well. Thought he was man of the match, of course. Moving into this game, it was nice to see him start again. And it's been nice to see him come on, like, for half an hour of games, big games, and shoot up the midfield and not look out of place. Like, I've really liked him. I think he's going to have a big future at the club, especially he's going to be here beyond next season as well. So I don't get it. People are easily looking for the scapegoats, and that annoys me with all these players that we get, like new young players, like talented players that could maybe obviously become top players. For you, I'm backing the players that come in, and hopefully we make up our mind with Cedric Itten and Scott Wright after about a year of them being here. Like, we finally found, right, they're not good enough, time to move on. Like, these guys are still fresh in the club, off barely any starts. And not to mention the full team played awful in the first half yesterday, so it wasn't only Sands. But I'm still going to give the guy plenty of time. I think I've liked what I saw. I just wouldn't have him with Lundstrom again. It's just too similar. I think he's still going to be, as you say, robust. He can play right back, he can play centre half, CDM. Like, he can play anywhere. Like, I think it's players like that you need.
He's also showed yesterday, I know he's got the mentality for a tackle as well. I enjoyed that tackle. Fantastic. I like that. So all round, I'm happy with the boys. As I say, we took plenty of time with Cedric and gave them time, and we made our mind up with him, and we decided it's not good enough. So I definitely just give Sands time. Do you know what I mean? I hate straight away, as you said. It was the same way also the lad with signed for United. You can tell that's probably knocked his confidence a wee bit as well. I know we all thought he was bald, and then magically hit there. But no, I'm just give these lads a bit of time, man. You can't just judge them after a couple of games and say they're not good enough, man. Give them a bit of time.
I know it's a really demanding club to play for. Obviously, we're demanding as fans, but sometimes you need to. Like, Morelos has been poor for the past maybe 2-3 games. To be honest with you, like, he looks like he's maybe nursing an injury. Like, he goes off the bench and he's got the ice pack straight in his hamstring and that. And I'm like, obviously for the Colombia thing, obviously you want him not to go, but He's not really been great the past couple of games. Kent, he struggled in the first half yesterday, but who didn't? And it was all the second half, and it was Van Bronckhorst again making that switch and not being afraid at this time. Thank God he didn't just persist by the 60th minute, because the change was needed at half time. Aribo and Fashion Sakala came on immediately. The performance it just improved massively. Dundee, I don't think actually had a shot on target, bar their goal, which is the more annoying thing. But it took a lot of character for the squad. It was a big test of character, especially you can't hide for we need to win every game. Celtic won yesterday. You need to win this game. Like, a limited amount of time. Test the character of the squad. And that period where we were sort of just getting corner after corner, and really the performance level upped, and you could see it was like inevitable that a goal was going to come, which was nice. I just want to see that throughout the 90 minutes. Like, where is that like any other time? Do we need to go 1-0 down and have backs against the wall and do it ugly all the time to get that sort of performance level? But the one guy that came on, the one guy me and you have called for, you more in particular, but Kemar Roof, as soon as he comes on, he wins a header and we score. Exactly the type of player you need in these situations. Does it all the time. Done it against Aberdeen. And for me, there has to be a starting position for him soon, and very soon, because he looks so much fitter up there. He looks faster. He looks more involved. I just want to see him start games more.
He's got, well, as I say, mate, he's got to start games more. As I said, I've said it for the difficult away games that we're going to, and he's not getting a look. And I'm thinking to myself, you bring him on, he's getting the goal. He loves a scrappy goal. I mean, as I said, I was only cheering for obviously Morelos, because with the Colombia situation, really there's no point in the guy going. He's not going to get a chance. But even if it maybe is a long term, I can appreciate him playing through injury, by the way, Morelos. I can appreciate that with a player all day long. But my boy Kemar Roof, he needs to tap him in the shoulder and say, look, I can do the business too, brother. Have a wee seat, rest that each pack on your knee. I'll take care of the business, because as you said, mate, straight away involved in a goal. And yet again, helps Connor Goldson with, I mean, I didn't expect that kind of goal coming from Connor Goldson, but I tell you what, if we need another striker, I'm not against Connor Goldson playing up front. I think he's got a sweet foot on him there. I'm telling you right now, that's some strike. But no, my boy Kemar Roof does the business, and I was about to say, it was comeback season, Jack. You understand? It was comeback season. Never rule us out. Listen, I was obviously, when I was at training, I was saying to you about some of the lads I trained with are Celtic fans, and they were honestly, see, watching them jump about the place thinking they'd won the league because we were 1-0 down. And I was like,
honestly, it's just what happens in these.
Lads,
that's what you can't do. You can't get too ahead of yourselves. You can't, if Rangers or Celtic are getting beat for whatever club you obviously support, you can't look at that and think, get too ahead of yourselves. And players can't do that either.
No, that's what I'm on about, though. See, when they were doing it, I'm like, it's no over to the fact that they think, also I was raging, why jump out the window here? But no, as soon as I heard that we came back, mate, buzzing. I was buzzing. The same, were you buzzing and all, Toby? Aye, come on. Dog was buzzing and all. He was jumping about the place. Honestly, loves the Rangers. But no, mate, I was delighted, as I said. I just thought if we go at them, I really did feel like the protests at the start obviously did hinder on the players' minds a bit, but for me, as I said, see if we just go at them, just run at them. They can't handle it. And fantastic substitution for the manager bringing on Fashion Neil. Obviously must have thought that himself. Listen, I'll bring him on with that pace. He can't handle it. But overall, I thought second half we played fantastically well. A lot more like ourselves, as you say. I don't know how many times you've done this podcast and you've thought to yourself, can we get a full 90 minutes where we play fantastically well? Because now it seems to be our first half, then second half. Aye, it's frustrating. But as we say, Jack, cup finals, most important thing. We get the 3 points, as Gio said. We're up the road now. I love the interviews for him. Quality.
Honestly, a lot of people give criticism to Van Bronckhorst, maybe for obviously drawn plenty of games, the Old Firm game. He's obviously going to come under criticism, but for me, he's really answered the critics in the past. Since that Celtic game, obviously we dropped points since, but overall, I just think we're looking much more like a Rangers team as time goes on. Obviously, you could maybe say European hangover players didn't really work out for them yesterday in the first half, but second half, much more like ourselves. Aribo, I thought, came on, made a really instant impact as well. Sakala just offers just more Scott Arfield will out in the right. So it was nice to see a bit of width and pace come on.
That's what sorry mate. That's what I'll say as well. Just touching on the managers, you're saying there. See, for me, obviously, emotions running high. You're fuming after losing to your better rival. Do you know what I mean? You think yourself, is this guy the guy? But as you say, he has answered the critics. Do you know what I mean? He definitely has a gaffer going forward. I don't want to hear any of it. Do you know what I mean? Guy definitely needs a summer to bring in his player, what he sees as a Rangers player, because you can tell there is one or two players maybe he's not keen on. I did find that a bit weird they brought Hollander off. I don't know if that was just managing his fitness or not, or maybe he was just not happy with the performance.
I think he wasn't happy with the performance because Hollander, he just doesn't look like he's recovered for that injury yet. Like, to be honest with you, he just really looks shaky every time I see him.
Well, that's what I'm saying for the manager. That's big for a manager, because I just feel it under the previous manager, maybe he'd kept him on and we wouldn't have been talking about a victory here. But credit to Gio, all 100%, because he's looked at it and he's thought, you're no good enough, you're coming off. And that's what I like about my manager. He's brave. He might say, Connor Goldson, listen, son, go play up front. McGregor, right back, Tav, in goals. Do it. I don't care, as long as we win. No, credit to Gio.
Nah, credit to the manager. A lot of big calls to be made, as you say. Roof, obviously, he comes on, gets the header back. Ramsey scored. It was nice to see Ramsey actually get his first goal. Played 84 minutes again. It looks like he's been getting more fitter, more involved with the Rangers squad, which is good to see. When we knew we were signing a quality player, and it's nice to see him actually look good. I thought again in the first half he wasn't having to do too much, as you say, dropping back to get the ball, not being able to really link up with Tavernier like he did last week. Sorry, and getting too ahead of myself. But in the second half, when he moved more centrally, I just felt that suited him a lot better. He's played in that position near enough his whole career. When he was at his prime, his best, like with Arsenal, he was always getting goals like that. He was always in the right place at the right time. So it was nice to see him put one away, get us back involved, and then it was all about pressure after that, and kept on going. And we had a few chances. It just felt like luck hasn't been going our way this season. Will we finally get a last minute winner? As you say, Van Bronckhorst makes a switch. He brings Kamara on. I'm like, why are you bringing Kamara on? No, because he's going to put him as centre half with Lundstrom, and he's going to put Goldson up front. I mean, these changes are massive risks, because if we leave Goldson up there and they end up breaking up and they score, like, obviously the manager's going to take the blame for changing it, but he changed it to good effect. And Kemar Roof, it comes to him, and I'm like, oh, is Roof going to finally get his goal? And fluffs it. Comes to Goldson, and what a finish. What a massive relief that was, by the way, as well. Like, see, as soon as that goal went in, it was just every sort of weight that weighed you down during that game was finally gone, and it looked like we were going to get 3 points. Obviously, the injury time, again, the fans can be to blame for that. All the stoppages of the game, and you're sitting there sweating, thinking of the Ross County game. Like, no, not again. But Dundee just aren't a good team. It's really annoying that we actually had to fight back that hard against them, because they're really, really poor going forward anyway. But Goldson took his goal well.
No, he took his goal tremendously well. I'd probably say Dundee's best player was that lad that was in our academy and that. Does he not play for him now? What's his name? Zach Rudden?
Aye, Zach Rudden, aye.
He was about celebrating that goal. You wee idiot. Hit you with an orange. No, I'm only joking. We'd never hit you on. I will. No, but I thought it was a tremendous goal for Hingway, as I say. Tremendous for the manager again, making them changes when they needed to be done. Doing things that maybe as fans we would look at and go, why is he doing that? But it's about backing the manager and trusting him, and clearly has a game plan, a vision. Maybe Al McGregor out wide. I could see it. He's definitely got the pace for it. No, but as I said, mate, I want to see some of these. I hope we raid the Ajax Academy, as I'm saying. I hope that guy's turned around and said to Gio here, I've got some top players in that academy that we can definitely get over here. But credit to the manager, as I said. It was comeback, Jack. It was about the comeback, and it's not over until the fat lady sings. We showed champions mentality for me, mate, as I said. How many times did we do that last season? Do you know what I mean? Getting winners, you know what I mean? So that for me, it shows me we're in the fight, and it all comes down to the next game, which to me, man.
Next game, as we said the last time, with the way the point situation was at the time, we were 2 points clear at the top. Celtic win, they go top, and they haven't moved for that position since. They've only grown their lead. I mean, I can't comprehend how big this Old Firm game is. Like, it's literally, if we win, we're right back in amongst it. We're level on points. It's all go for there. If they win, though, it's damaging our league campaign, and you could pretty much say it's as good as done.
I'll say right now, mate, it's done. This is what I'm on about. This is, forget the Scottish Cup now. Obviously, that's going to be a massive game in its own right. This game right here, man, puts the butterflies in your stomach. You know how big this is, because this is it.
And there's 2 weeks of build up with this. 2 weeks you need to think about possible teams and what team's going to show up and what's going to happen, what Celtic going to bring, like who's going to come back for international duty fit, and all of this stuff. It's going to be a crazy 2 weeks, obviously, thinking about the game. But that's in 2 weeks. We've got 2 weeks to look forward to that. It's going to be a big one, obviously. It's going to be massive. But the 3 points yesterday was just as big. It's all the same points we're fighting for at the end of the day. If we did not win there, I would have probably said the league's as good as done and all, to be honest with you. Like, dropping points to Dundee, really don't deserve to win a league against that relegation fodder team. But
you really don't like Dundee, do you? I'm not a fan. Talking that the sparklers came on during the game, especially how late in the game, water just blowing all over the park. Like, come on.
I just think they're a really poor team. Like a Mark McGee managed team, and I look at through their team, and it's just absolute like shite. I just could not believe we were actually getting beat for 60 minutes of that game. Like, thankfully we get the victory. These games happen in title challenges, obviously, against poorer teams, especially after a European game as well, like maybe leggy. But it's all about getting the victory, and I thought it was one of the biggest victories, to be honest, of our season, because it looked like we were never going to win at one point, but Goldson sticks it away. And what is going to happen with Goldson, his interview yesterday, he's a guy that we spoke quite a while ago on when that contract situation was still in the talks as well. And if he leaves, if he signs on, he's going to go with everybody's best wishes. He has literally never really missed a game for us. Always puts in 10 out of 10 effort, always pops up with a goal when you need him. I remember the one at Kilmarnock as well. I think it's Gerrard's second season, first game of the season, and he pulls up with a big last minute goal yesterday, massive goal. Constantly always try to keep focused, stay forward. Obviously he's got his moments in him, but honestly I hope this guy signs on. I think he's been sensational for us.
It showed that yesterday when he tried to get a ball to Helander and ended up getting out of throwing, was it?
Aye, he's got that in him. I know that's the annoying thing.
You know what it is with Connor Goldson? You love him, and as you say, if he was to leave, he goes with the best wishes, because he has been a fantastic player overall. His stay at the club has been fantastic. Last season, as we said, player of the season, had a fantastic campaign. This season, it's because the contract's looming over. You're thinking to yourself, how committed are you to this club? Is it bigger wages, all that kind of crap that goes on behind the scenes? Performances have been a bit here and there, but as you say, mate, still number one centre half probably at the club.
Like never once has he ever took the huff for being like, oh, I'm not getting enough money here, so I'm just going to not play.
No, he's not took the huff. You could say maybe obviously after the Hibs loss, where he came out and me and everybody was like outraged, and then everyone looked back and thought, well, maybe he was saying me. Well, listen, as I say all the time, as football fans, we're fickle. Do you know what I mean? 1 minute we're like, oh, get rid of that guy. Next minute we're like, oh, absolutely love him, come back in the team. Connor Goldson for me, I mean, it is one of them. Honestly, I'm the same as you. I just think you've got to sign the deal, mate. As I said last time I talked about it, potential Champions League football. You're a potential semi-finalist, who knows, potential finalist, European final with Rangers. You're in the history books there with that. Obviously winning the title last season, but many more titles you could potentially win in cups. So for me, there's no better place. Why would you go and want to play? It's the same thing I say, thinking about Kamara or thinking about Aribo. I can understand the quality of player they two are, and potentially one day they will even go and play in the Premiership. But I just think at this moment in time, come on, stay and enjoy the fun that potentially we can have here. I would love to see him sign on. Well, I'd love to have him, and I would love to have signed that Dutch boy. Having the two of them at the back, I think that would be fantastic. But no, it is at the end of the day, whatever happens. And if he goes with the best wishes. If he stays, I'm pretty happy with that.
Nah, because he's Oh, sorry, on you go.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, but I'm just saying, I just couldn't imagine looking at a Rangers team sheet, and as frustrating it had been at times, where you look at it and you think, why is Goldson playing? Do you look at the team sheet and go, Goldson's not there, he's no playing.
I know, it's because he's been such a that just shows you the sort of impact he's had on the side, that he's literally been irreplaceable at times. Like, he's been the top centre back for like 4 years, and that's a big ask at a club like Rangers, that the fans don't get on your back straight away and you're binned. But that's Van Bronckhorst rated him, and Gerrard as well. So I hope we're actually having these discussions with him, and also, and hopefully having him for next season.
There as well, mate. His heart as well. Think about what that guy's had to go through on a personal level with his health problems, and to be playing as long as he's played for us consistently, season after season. I just think that's remarkable, and really does deserve a wee salute for that. But nah, man, Greggy Stewart centre half next season can see it.
He'll be playing all positions for his next season.
Listen, I'm getting them in. There's nothing to talk about with Greggy Stewart, but I'm getting the mentions in because he's my boy. Ballon d'Or.
And then obviously the big victory yesterday. We can relax. We can enjoy the international break. Not really enjoy it, but get by it. We've got a lot of players going. As far as I know, McLaughlin, Hollander, Balogun, Bassey, Barisic, Sands, Jack, Kamara, Charlie McCann called up to Northern Ireland, Lowry away with the youngsters in Scotland, Stephen Davis, Aribo, Ramsey, Morelos, and I don't know if Jamaica are playing, but I put Kem Ardwiff down as well. Sakala, possibly. I don't know if Zambia are playing, but...
First off, what happened to Stephen Davis? Second off, no, don't take Ryan Jack and John McLaughlin, please. Why?
I don't understand what the problem is with Stephen Davis. How can you get called up for international duty? He's not featured on our bench, and Van Bronckhorst is saying he's injured.
He's not blue. I know. I'm
sure.
I'm worried now. You've said that. I don't want Ryan Jack to go away with Scotland in a pointless game. I'm in the opinion. Look, listen, what's happening right now in the world is terrible and it's disgusting. But I'm in the opinion. Come on, just slap us through. Do you know what I mean? What's the point? Do you know what I mean? Poland get a bypass. Give Scotland a bypass and all. Do you know what I mean? It's terrible what's going on. It really is. But hurry up and just get a bypass here, because it's not game's not going to get played. In my opinion, anyway. If it does, fantastic. That's what we want to see. But I'm scared now, Jack. Why is Ryan Jack going away in international duty?
No, just as long as he gets game time and he comes back injury free.
I'm not wanting him getting injured. I'm sorry. Listen, in a pointless friendly, are you mad?
I know. It's annoying to think about.
Bro, just retire for international duty. It was great in the summer watching Scotland fluff a tournament. All right, it was great. It was fun. It was lovely to draw with England. I felt we could have beaten them, right? But I'm sorry, just bro, it's the Rangers. Come on. Yeah. I'll quote Gerrard here. You know what I mean? Your club's your bread and butter.
That's what he says. Hopefully Van Bronckhorst isn't leaving after this international break now. But that's obviously best wishes to the players. Hopefully they come back injury free, help their countries the best they can as well. But it's all on the old firm game in which they come, because as Goldson said in his interview yesterday as well, April was mad. The games we've got coming up, Celtic in the fucking semi of the cup, European quarterfinals, like St Mirren added in there as well, just for that, maybe that we want to enjoy. But it's going to be a stressful month. Looking forward to it. Next week we'll hopefully have something planned in terms of.
That's no nice, Jack.
What
you did there? You just called Stephen Robertson a wee one. Is that what you just did there?
No, I will. That's the game you can hopefully enjoy in between all them.
I'm making a joke because he's small. I've seen him in person.
Stephen.
Aye. No, it's massive month, and that's the only reason why I'm a bit angry, as I say. 100% go represent your country. Do you know what I mean? It's probably nothing better besides playing for your club. But I'm more of a club man. Come on, surely. How many Celtic players are going away with Scotland? I'll tell you one that's no. Apparently the best right back in Scotland, Jack. Anthony
Ralston isn't. No sure, honestly. Cal McGregor probably. But then they don't really have many Scottish players. So since playing for the under 23s in an FA Cup game, is this the first time Patterson's going to get full time football? Aye.
What a smart man Ross Wilson is, isn't he?
Nah, he got the money and then but what a stupid man Frank Lampard is for not playing him. That's what I say. So
I mean, need to talk about Frank Lampard and the fact that he's acting like the Joker.
I know, 1 minute he's all smiles and then just instantly just
dead serious.
Nah.
What's that all about?
Don't know, I don't know how you could even be laughing after the shite he saved up for Everton.
Aye. No, it is what it is, mate. We have everything nothing, mate. But come back, Kings, Jack. That's all I'm saying. That's what this episode should be called. Come back, Kings, because don't rule us out. That's all I'll say.
Nah, well, it's looking to heat up anyway. Premier League up the top, down the bottom. It's been a good season this year with a lot of competition. So I'm looking forward to hopefully your lot staying up. I enjoyed that watching it. Seeing the fight back. I liked Luke Ayling as well, posting about Kemar Roof and like Kemar Ayling or something he called him. So
aye, listen, if he's not getting any game time, he's more than welcome to come back. I'm telling you, can slot the ball in the net. Although I don't want him to leave Rangers because he's massive for us, and I said scrappy goals, he loves them. I'm telling you, Kemar needs more game time. But if he doesn't get any more, Connor Goldson up front or Greggy Stewart signed. That's all I want.
Nah, that's the perfect way to end it off. I think hopefully, as we say, come back and we're in much better form than we were for the last winter shutdown and everything. Like that was damaging, obviously, to where we are now. But hopefully, we come back re-energised and really go and get as much as we can for April, because it's going to be really tough, as we know. But as always, if you could like, subscribe and share about for us, very much appreciated. And we'll have something planned next week. I don't know, we'll need to talk about it, some sort of list and tier list. We'll love it for the international break. So we'll see what we're going to do, and then cheers.